and a professional hockey player, Connor Mackey. How are we doing today?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me on. Good to see you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Thanks for coming on. And Jackie, how are you doing today?
Good, good. Just got a long walk in. Gonna hit the gym after this and then got the Pats on at 1 o'clock. So I got a good Sunday for myself today.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'm coming out of Colorado today. Should be a pretty nice day. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode. My first question for you, Connor, is why did you want to come on the podcast today, and what does mental health mean to you?
Great question. Yeah, I mean, obviously, me and you go way back. I wanted to support you guys' platform and everything, and just mental health for me is so important. Being an athlete, it's something that I think a lot of people overlook. So if I can just, share a little bit about my journey and some things that help me um, to help other people is really the goal for me. If I can impact one person or 100 people, um, it's a win. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Mental health is definitely important around the athletic world, and I don't think it's talked about enough. Before we get into it, tell us about your background. When did you start playing hockey, and where have you played throughout your career?
Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up around the game. Obviously, as my dad played professional hockey, 14 years professional. So I feel like for me, when I was 2, 3 years old, I had a mini stick in my hands. Um, yeah, and I just grew up around the game. I remember my dad retired. I was 4 years old. I remember him taking my brother and I into the locker room and uh, to games and whatnot, and just loved it. Um, so yeah, I probably started skating around 3 or 4 years old, and excuse me. From there, yeah, just played you know, minor hockey. My whole life really was kind of a late bloomer. Just playing like I was never like playing the highest levels growing up. Double A most of my youth, my childhood, um, and then yeah, I played high school hockey. Really all the way through high school, and then my last year, my senior year, I played midget U18 for Team Illinois. I was living in Illinois at the time, Tower Lakes, which how I this is how I met David here. And then from there, I played 2 years of junior hockey in the USHL for the Green Bay Gamblers, so right down the road. Um, and then went to college, played college hockey, Minnesota State, Mankato. 3 years there, and then I was undrafted. I signed with the Calgary Flames after my third year as a free agent, and then spent about 2.5 seasons there, up and down between the Flames, then our affiliate team. Um, and then my last year on my contract, I got traded to Arizona, spent some time there with the Coyotes, and then uh, that next summer 2023, I signed with the New York Rangers. And then, yeah, I'm going on my third season here with the Rangers organization, and been kind of back and forth between New York and then our affiliate team in Hartford, Connecticut here. So, yeah, my sixth year pro. It's been a journey, and then learned a lot, met a lot of cool people, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You've been through a lot throughout your career for sure, bouncing around, traveling on and off rosters. What part of hockey is the hardest on your mental health, do you think? Is it the competition, the comparison, the teams, the cuts, the injuries? What do you think has been a challenge with you, and what has helped you overcome those battles?
Dude, that's a great question. I think, I mean, all the things you said have its moments. Um, I think for me is kind of the unknown of the game, the day to day. Just to personalize it, kind of, recently been called up, and you're not sure if you're playing or not. You come to the rink, the lineup's posted. Am I in? Am I not in? Type of thing. Um, so that definitely has its challenges. There's always internal competition. Um, but yeah, I think obviously I've been pretty fortunate to be, you know, relatively healthy throughout my career. I did battle two serious injuries 2 seasons ago, and for the first time in you know 10 years, it was something I had to learn to go through. And you know, I think all of this for me that helps me is just I think leaning on people. You know, I'm super grateful that, you know, my dad played, my brother played, always talking to them through things, and you know, they always have some good insight on maybe just a different perspective that I don't see going through whatever it is. You know, trying to take the positives out of things. If you are injured, if you're not playing that day, you know, and maybe you do have a bad game. You know, the rigors of the season. There's so many games. I think that's another thing that's, you know, maybe mentally the hardest thing is, you know, in, you know, 82 game season. It's easy to look at the long haul of the season and kind of get wrapped up in the grind of things, but just taking it game by game is so important because things change so fast. So, um, yeah, I would say, you know, for me, it's just leaning on the people close to me. And, you know, I'm lucky that my family's been involved in the game and obviously they know what they're talking about. So just relying on their word and you know, staying strong to it.
Yeah, for sure. Leaning on your people. We talk about that all the time. Jackie, go ahead. What you
Yeah,
got?
I mean, I'm a basketball fan and player. I like watching the Bruins better than the Celtics because to me, hockey's a tough game. Like everybody knows that the NBA is now. I feel like they're all pop stars, but the NHL is just tough. Like those guys, like you're out on the ice, it's quick spurts, and it's like a tough game. It's grueling on the mind and the body. Do you tend to find yourself slowing down when you're not on the ice? Because being on the ice, obviously, it's so fast paced and tough. Those guys are just so tough out there. That's why I love watching it. But what do you do when you're not on the ice to make sure you're sort of like in tune and with yourself and present?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's definitely, um, it's very like, it's chaotic sometimes, like the crowd and everything. There's just a lot of stimulation. So yeah, for me, away from the rink, I definitely I think it's just something I've adapted the last couple of years, right? You learn throughout your career, but just like with restful, like peacefulness and quiet time is so important for me. And you know, picking up a book, maybe just calling a buddy on a day off that I haven't talked to in a while. Um, kind of putting my phone aside, getting, you know, not on social media. You know, I don't need to watch more hockey. You know, you're always just it's every day, right? There's always a cycle of things coming at you and yeah, just in the mix of the game, it's so intense and physical like you said. um Definitely need that time to just rest your body and rest your mind. So it's definitely something I, you know, try to walk. Today we have an off day, try to walk to a coffee shop, just get outside, you know, go for a walk, get some fresh air and just get my mind off things.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love that you mentioned too, not being on your phone because I think you can go after a game, you can look what people are saying on Twitter, you can look at the box score. It's all so easily accessible and it's harder to turn it off than it is to keep it on because it's right there. Drake May said in an interview, I think a week or so ago, like, what do you say to critics? And he's like, well, I don't really look at Twitter after the game, because I don't take advice from people like that aren't around me. I take advice from people in this locker room and people that I know believe in me. So I think it's a big thing too. I mean, I did the same thing yesterday. I'm not a pro hockey player, but I was a little anxious yesterday, so I just put my phone away and I forced myself to sit outside for an hour and read. And you need to almost be able to put your brain elsewhere and just pause it for a second. So I like that you touched on that.
Totally, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think it's important to get outside the game. Like when I was going through my career as a baseball player, I was really focused on like grind, 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 baseball, 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 baseball. But like you said, like picking up a book or calling a friend can go a far way. And it's like that balance between you're more than an athlete, like you only have a career for so long, which is awesome to you that you're still playing and you get to play that game. But it's also important to have other things outside of your sport. When things haven't gone your way, like you talked a little bit about going up and down on the roster. What do you do to get back on track mentally? Because that can be just a toll itself, going up and down on rosters.
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah, I think like when things don't go well, it's easy to, I try not to get, dwell on it, right? It's something that, can really affect people and your game, but there's always the next game, right? So I think that's a positive of the long season. It's like, hey, there's an opportunity here to, do better. But um I think yeah, I mean for me it's just about, maybe learning from the mistakes, or if you have a bad game, things aren't going well, and you know and just kind of picking yourself up and carrying on the next day, right? I think it's just the discipline of it is what can you control, right? You can't always control, the outcome of the game, or you're gonna have a bad game or two, right? There's so many games. That's just the reality of it. Like, no one's gonna play perfect every night. So, what can you control is just like your discipline, right? Am I eating right? Am I sleeping good? Am I working hard? Am I being a good teammate? Those things, are the controllables, and like that's gonna feed into your game, and from there, it's like if you just keep stacking those up each day, it's a good recipe for success. And I'm not gonna, sometimes you do those things and you still don't play well, but the end of the day is you're moving towards, the right direction. Like I said, it's a recipe for success, and without those things, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Jackie, go ahead. I see your
No,
head nodding over there.
I like that too. I think too with, I mean, obviously the younger athletes today, you see social media and everything, and they're worried about the future. I think they lose sight of just controlling the controllables and like stacking small wins every day, and then you'll sort of get to where you need to be. But you said you were in Hartford now. I was just curious. So you're playing in Hartford, and then any day they could kind of call you to go in and play up. Is that how
Yeah,
that works?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, we have a group of 23 guys here, and pretty yeah, like a lot of them are under contract with the Rangers. So um, yeah, everyone, draft picks or whatever it is, and um, yeah, that you hit it right on the head. It's like, you might get a phone call one day and, hey, we need you up here, and or not. But yeah, there's been some movement this season already, and yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Sorry, I had to unmute. I actually know, I had to ask that because Coach Sullivan, I work at a restaurant at in Duxbury, Massachusetts, and he's from Marshfield. So I haven't seen him in a month or so, but I used to see him over the summer come in and grab takeout, and he always had his Rangers gear on. Like he just walked in so loud and proud with his Rangers gear to a restaurant full of Bruins fans. But everyone loves him around here despite him being the Rangers coach. We kind of wish he was the Bruins coach, but we'll take him in New York for now.
Good stuff. That's awesome.
So obviously, the name of our podcast is the Keep Going Podcast, and we ask this question every single week. And our guests give us a variety of answers. And so, when was a moment throughout your career where you felt like quitting, or it may have broken down an average man, but you found a way to keep going and get through that moment? What was that time for you?
Oh man, I feel like there's been a lot of small moments like that, each season. Um, I would say maybe for me, I would say my last year with the Flames, I was just struggling. I felt I wasn't playing great hockey. Um, I was maybe mentally not in a great spot. So, um, I was fortunate, as I touched on earlier, to have, a lot of family and whatnot close to me, and you kind of keep telling yourself in the the dog days of the season, like things will turn around, right? I wasn't playing much, um, and yeah, I ended up, thankfully, I getting an opportunity on a new team with Arizona, and I feel like that, from there, kind of rejuvenated my career in a sense of just like, a new change and everything. And, I was able to kind of accumulate some games there. Um, and then, yeah, signing with New York after that, was a new opportunity. And it's hard. It's hard to pick one moment, or one big thing, but I think just maybe I would say like my time and, towards the end of my time in Calgary, it was just getting hard on me. And, I kept reminding myself, hey, like things will get better. And, fortunately, um, like I said, I got an opportunity with a different team. So that was kind of the moment for me where it's like, it opened my eyes. It kind of rejuvenated my game and my mental health and just everything. My family was out there at the time. I was able to see them, and it was just a really great situation for me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I like your perspective a lot on like that belief that things will get better and it's not always going to be this way. And there will be good times and bad times. And you've been through those bad times multiple times and you've been able to get through it. What has helped you get through those times? Do you think it's family, coaches, teammates, faith? What do you lean on during those hard times?
I think all of it, honestly. Yeah. Um, Definitely family, definitely friends, definitely faith. I think I would say the biggest person, if I had to pick one thing, like, my brother has been the one person I've leaned on the most.
Shout them out.
Yeah, Ian, my twin brother.
Ian Mackey. What a
Yeah,
guy.
he's the man. So yeah, just like, you know, going through this whole journey, my whole career, my whole life with him, doing this my entire life, right? Playing hockey with him growing up and just the whole thing. It's training together in the summers, like talking about the game, talking about mental health, talking about bettering ourselves, learning different disciplines, like the whole thing. Like he's been the one guy. I generally can say I wouldn't be where I'm at, without him. So super grateful, to have a brother like that who supports me and, who lived the life with me. So he can relate to what I'm going through and the struggles because he's also been through everything that I've been through. And, we've been there for each other, which has been awesome.
Yeah, yeah, just seeing your guys' relationship and knowing you guys from an early childhood. You used to babysit me when I was younger and taking me down to the tennis courts. Just seeing your relationship grow and having someone to lean on like that is huge. And uh and I'm just grateful to know you guys, and you guys are good people for sure. Jackie, what you got?
I didn't know you were a twin, Connor. I'm an identical twin. So my
Oh,
sister
no
and
way. That's
I,
so awesome.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we you get it. We played basketball like though. So we played basketball all through high school and then went to different colleges for basketball. I stopped playing because of an injury, but she played, but like training together all through the summers, it definitely helps when you have somebody to lean on you and always like I always use the phrase I've always had a positive chip on my shoulder just because I'm a twin. I've always had that edge there. It's different when you have somebody going through the same journey with you side by side.
Totally. Yeah. I love that. I'm going to start using that. The positive chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. Are you guys identical? Who's older?
We're fraternal.
Okay.
He's older. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Does he play hockey still or is his career?
He's not playing it right now, no, but he was playing the last couple years, pro hockey. So, yeah, he just stopped this season. So,
Awesome, awesome. Good for him though. That's great.
yeah.
I want to wrap up with a couple ending questions. We usually do Dave's mailbag.
Dave Mitchell's mailbag.
Can't wait.
Let's
So
go.
I'm gonna I'm gonna start it off with a question about advice you would tell someone that is struggling or going through a hard time right now.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone that may be struggling with self-doubt or failing or maybe just feel a little bit overwhelmed or alone? What would you tell someone?
It's hard. I mean, I would just say it's gonna be okay. It's gonna pass by. The storm always the rainbow's gonna shine eventually. Like the storm will pass. So, um, just keep going. Obviously, the name of the pod, like it's maybe saying that's a little cliche, but it's so there's so much truth to it. Um, I would just say, it's gonna be okay, and whatever you're going through, like it's probably not as bad as you think it is. You know, um, so just continuing to stay positive and positive self talk, and rely on the people close to you, because it's not going to last forever, and things will be better.
Yeah, I like that answer a lot. Jackie, go ahead. I'm gonna bounce it to you.
All right. So obviously you've had a very successful career, one that I'm sure you'll look back on and be very proud of, as you should. But I like the question of, if you could sit down with your 16, 15-year-old self, high school hockey player, what advice would you give him?
uh yeah, I would man, that's a great one. I would just say to just continue to like love the game. I mean, I think as you get older, it does become a job and a career, and all these other external things kind of feed into it. I find myself now, like, the more I can genuinely come to the rank and not treat it as a job, like I'm still a kid, like I'm still throwing the pads on and playing outside in the backyard, like, you know just enjoy the game and have fun with it. Have fun with your teammates, and don't I don't want to say don't treat it as a job, because you obviously have goals and dreams and you want to get to the next level, and just continue to work hard, and stay close to the people that helped you get to where you are, and just have fun. I think that's when we're playing our best, and when we're feeling our best, and we're in the good mental spaces, when we're having fun with the game, and we're having fun in life, and it's not a burden to do this and play. um so just, yeah, I would just say have fun with it, and enjoy it.
I love that. I love that. I think definitely never lose sight of like the younger you that started playing the game and why you started playing it. That's good insight.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, for me, you know I play the game because I love to play it. I never wanted to play pro hockey for all the other external things that come with it. I just wanted to do it because I loved hockey, and I think that's what has gotten me to where I am. It's not because of it's obviously my worth ethic and a lot of things, but it's just like the love of the game has taken me so far. I truly believe that.
Yeah, I think that's huge for anyone that is out there that maybe feeling a little like burnt out or playing for a long time. You have to ask yourself, like, why am I doing this? And that's huge that you have a why and that you still get to play this game and that keeps you going. All right, I gotta ask, growing up in Tower Lakes, what was your favorite memory growing up in Tower Lakes?
Dude, so many. This is I'm so glad you asked this. Um, dude, I honestly just being in the hood, man, like being in the neighborhood, being in Tower Lakes, like there I think about that place, almost every day. It's for me, it's like that's like my safe spot I can go to um when things are hard, and um I would just say that the people there,
Yeah.
is everyone. It's hard to pick one specific thing. Is just the growing up there. It's the best place, and all the people. How much of a community it is, and um, it's so special. So yeah, obviously, hanging with you, man, and going to the beach, and swinging by your house, and the tennis courts, and the whole thing. Riding our bikes through the neighborhood, whatever it is, bumping into neighbors, all the above. Like it's so special, and super fortunate. We were able to grow up there, man.
Yeah, I'm grateful for sure for the community and the people there as well. Jackie, last question, what you got?
All right. So sometimes I ask this and then I realize that the guest doesn't really read much, but because you mentioned books, there any books you recommend or anything good that you're reading right now?
Yeah, I so I'm actually reading. I read this past summer I read a book. It's called The Alchemist. I don't know if you guys read it or not. I'm reading it again for like the third time right now, actually. But really good book. Um, just kind of about being on your journey and pursuing it. Um, so yeah, I would say it's my favorite book. My brother's read it. I've tried to hand it off to people. Um, recommend it to people, and I don't know if you guys heard of it or read it.
Actually, I read that book when I graduated high school. I graduated high school during COVID, and our superintendent gifted each kid in the graduating class that book.
Wow.
And I picked it up like over that summer, and it was the first like sort of self-help book I've ever read. I love that book. I should reread it because I haven't read it since then, but I remember that book. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. I think it's just a book that speaks to everyone, no matter where you're at in your life or what you're going through. It speaks to you in some sort of way. So I would definitely recommend it.
Love it. Connor Mackey, dude, thank you for coming on today. Um, you're just such a great friend, super humble, professional hockey player that you would probably never know walking into a room. Well, maybe you would know. But thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a good friend, being a leader. Like, thank you for always being there for me and for other people. I think it just speaks highly of who you are, and I can always rely on you as a person and your family, and just getting to know you throughout your career. And thank you for spending your time on the Sunday morning for coming on here.
Yeah, anytime, Dave. Yeah, likewise, man. It's been awesome. And Jackie, nice meeting you. And really appreciate you guys having me on. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, of course. And good luck with your season. Hope you stay healthy. Keep crushing it. Would love to see you play sometime. I'll have to keep up with your games and follow along with it. Good luck though. Of
Definitely. Thank you so much.
course.
Thanks, guys. Keep going.
Go